Welcome to another episode of ZBHO Dojo. Welcome to the first five entering the Dojo of Love. Grab your seat, grab yourself a spot on the dojo floor, because we're about to get into it. The first 50 entering the dojo as we speak. Jonathan Michael Jones, Ryan McLeroy. Welcome to the dojo. Joshua Yasin. Now let's get this party started.
Welcome to the ZBHO Dojo. My name
is Spicy, real spicy, if you will.
and today I'm saying
We're going to be working on some critiques. We're also going to be working on that ballerina duet, teaching you anatomy, back and forth, male and female, letting you know what's going on. But before we get started, kicking ass, taking names, and turning on that auto save, let us give thanks and praise to the lords and gods of Sijia, starting with Frank Frazetta, the All-Father. Thank you, Lord Frank Frazetta, for your blessings today. Next, St. Joseph of Judas. Next, St. Paul. Look up here. Look up here. Look up here. Gabori. Next, Ryan, the King of Slian. And finally, Simon Lee. Spider. Thank you for your education, your inspiration, and your overall badassness. The dojo salutes you. How's it going, chat? How is it going, dojo? Sumerian King D Zinc coming in hot. Coming in hot. Appreciate you all being here. Ryan Frazier finally showing his face in the dojo. Welcome, Ryan. Thank you for being here. Scorpion Core Universe has entered the dojo. Alrighty. So let's get over into these critiques from the dojo. Rodolfeda official. What's going on? Thank you for being here. Oh, 1 second. God dang it, Steve. If I have to tell you about the lights one more time, Steve, you're fired. You know what? Go home. Go home right now, Steve. Steve, go home. I'll run the show myself, Steve. I will run the show myself. Get out of here, Steve. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? Slam Jam is in. IR Sculpts is in. IR, I don't know if you notice. I'm working out, bro. I'm working out. I know you can tell. It's obvious. Juan Carlos Franco. Welcome to the ZBHO Dojo. Chan Alex. Thank you for being here in the dojo. So we usually start off of these streams with critiques from the dojo. If you haven't joined the dojo yet, I would definitely suggest you do. It's a Discord. It's free. It's got over 400 serious artists looking to kick ass, take names, and turn on that auto save. So if you want a piece of this, then join the Discord now. Now. Click the link. Click it. Click it. Click it. Do it. All right. So, yeah, but I always offer in there, you'll see, you'll see critique submissions here, and anytime you want to critique for me on the stream, you just put it in here, and I will put you in the rotation. That's short for rotation, if you didn't know, okay? Alrighty, so the first one is from, let's see, where is it from? This is John Moses Browning wanting me to look over his torso. So let's take a look and let's talk about this. Alrighty. Derek Davila, what's going on? We're gonna get to yours. Yours is on the plate. We're about to take a little snack of it. Alrighty. So, John, the thing that I noticed the most is that it's very flat, right? The rib cage has got 1, 2, and then 3 on the sides, right? In terms of plane, so bop, 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 right? Yours is dun, 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 right? So bop, bop, ba, not dun, 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 okay? So, what we're going to do is just move this back a little. Let's turn on symmetry. So we're gonna move this back. Also, all of this is kind of just ending here. It needs to end here, right? So we need to kind of shave this off so we can kind of get that in there. And then we need that fossa right here in between the anterior head of the deltoid right here, which is looking pretty good on your model, but you need a little bit of a fascia right there, or fossa, and then get this all as one piece, right? So boom, 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 boom. Next thing that would help is having the pit of the neck here. So let's turn on transparency so we can see the skeleton underneath. If you are trying to learn anatomy, this is a way I would do it. Not the way I would do it, this is the way I did it, right? So what I would normally do is I would sculpt the character regularly without any assistance or help or guides, and then I would come back and put the skeleton inside and see how far I was off, right? So if my biceps were too long or they're consistently too long, then I know whenever I sculpt, hey, let's, shorten up that bicep. It might not look good right now, but or it might not be familiar to me, but it will look correct if it's sculpted according to the anatomy that we need, right? According to the anatomy that is there, because it's the same thing over and over again, right? Regardless if this is male or female, the pec is going to insert and attach into the same place. Same with the abs, same with every single muscle. Women don't have an extra rib or anything like that. They have the same amount of ribs as us. So there's really no difference between male and female at all in terms of the origination and insertion of these muscles. So, but yeah. Alrighty, so this, we're just kind of massaging this so it's a little bit more believable. And you never want to have your mesh super far off of the rib cage, because if you feel right here, I mean, for me, it's just huge amounts of muscle ripped, like 3% body fat muscle, right? Obviously. So but for normal people, you just have skin and bone right here. So you don't want to have a whole lot of room from the sternum to the mesh, right? So right about there, and then bring this in. So you can see all this, all these muscles that don't really provide more than a 1/4 inch, something like that. You're putting like you're putting inches where there's only like 1/4 of inches. So it's kind of blowing things out proportion. And then now what you've got to do is you've got to compensate for that and make other muscles bigger, longer, etc., right? So what I did here is I just made this these serratus, I just brought them closer to the rib cage and made sure that there's a sense that's going back up into the clavicles, right? So they're not going out towards the lat or going out up towards armpit. They're going following the rib cage, right? Because that's what the serratus muscle is attached to. Next, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have your pectoralis inserted into. You have yours inserted, not really on a rib at all. It's just kind of floating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to the 5th rib. And then that should provide us a little bit more space for the pectoralis and the abdominal muscles as well, right? So we just need to bring that down, get this much closer to the rib cage, because again, it's only like quarter inch, something like that, right? It's not going to be 4 inches of muscle around the underneath the rib cage, right? So here, so if we're gonna accrocher this, we're gonna have the clavicular head right here. We're gonna have the sternal head going to the end of the sternum. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just want to make sure. And then you're going to have the thoracic head, which is going to attach to the rib right here. Okay, and so often you'll see it kind of like this. Okay, so right here. Let's take a look at the skeleton so we can really see what we're talking about. So right here is the manubrium, right? So whenever you are whenever you're young, there's cartilage right there, right? So when you breathe and everything, it bends, and then as you get older, it stiffens up and it gets harder and harder and harder. But what it does whenever you're physically fit, like me, it'll provide a striation that you can always count on, and it's always going to be at the manubrium, right? Always going to be at the manubrium. So you can use that as a landmark for your pectoralis. So you can always have that striation, right? That we always see with all these bodybuilders. But now instead of just putting it in a random place, you know exactly where to put it, right at the manubrium. So another thing I see with pectoralis a lot is that just ends right here, or you have striations that are going this way, or I'm sorry, I'm doing that right. Striations that do this. That's not what the pecs are doing. Pecs are attaching right here, and then going up, right? And then going back, and then going back, and then going, going there, running around here, going there, and then you have the thoracic head, right? So clavicular, thoracic, or sternal, and then thoracic, CST. Clavicular, sternal, thoracic, okay? So, that's what I would do to kind of clear this body up. Also, you kind of want to follow the 8th rib down here. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. Right here is kind of where you want to, I'm going to start saying, I hate that I keep saying, You want to follow the 8th rib. And then your obliques are going to come from 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to be the end, right? And then we're going to get our obliques here, which are going to go down to right here and then go up, up. So it's going to expose this anterior superior iliac spine. It's going to go over and back up. Okay. Yours are kind of... there's something off about all this. I think, again, it's the distance between the rib cage and what you have sculpted, so it's kind of amplifying volume where it doesn't need to be. So here we're going to bring this oblique forward, come around right there, okay. And then now we have that oblique. Oh, I think the reason it wasn't jiving for me is because the gluteus medius wasn't here. So for that, we just need a gluteus medius this. All right, gluteus medius, and then gluteus maximus going down here. Okay. So yep. And maybe bring this back so it's not so far forward. There's really not a lot going on each side of the groin. So you kind of want to leave that quite empty. There is a transverse abdominis right here, but it's, you know, the amount of body fat that you have to not possess to see that is pretty drastic. So maybe whenever it's activated or something, you'll see it. Alrighty. So these serratus muscles are on the rib cage, which is good. All these serratus muscles attach to each rib right here, and you're kind of skipping some here and there. And you also want to make sure that it's going to the nipple, right? So this is what your serratus muscles are doing, going back and forth, attaching to the inside of your scapula and going forward, right, and coming back up. And then it's going to your nipple, okay, right there. So now what we need to do is we need to go from the armpit and come down here, because your lat does go into your armpit. So if you're ever wondering where you should be attaching that or originating it, it should be there, okay. Bring the serratus back, making sure that the lat is not part of the serratus. That's one thing I see a lot of, that they just mix it in like this, and then it's just, you know, it doesn't look that bad, but you know, if you see it, you see it. And so right there, boom, boom, and yeah. So that's what I would do, and then just make sure that your serratus muscles, I know they look a little long, but they are this long right there. They're attaching to all of these going up, right? I know it seems a little weird because they look like little fingers, but that's just because of your memory. Your memory doesn't serve you. So look again, and I guarantee you will see that. And then you're just going to fill it in between each one of these serratus muscles. You're going to feed a oblique. All right, just like that. Okay, and you're going to have that. So that's those are the issues that you have with this sculpt, in terms of the pecs and a little bit of the back as well. But yeah, keep it going. I appreciate you. Chad and Alex, morning. What's going on? Juan Carlos Franco, welcome. IR Sculpts, hey man, hey chat, working and lurking. Let's do it, Spicer. What's going on? IR Slam Jam. I'm gonna send one in now. Oh, you are, huh? Is that how you think this rolls? Is that how you think this rolls, Slam Jam? You think you sent me a ZPR? Okay, look, you know, Slam Jam, I try to help you out, you know. I try to help you out, but you gotta read the instructions, bro. Would love to start the Dojo Warriors. Put your ZTL or link to your ZTL. Not the ZPR, bro. Come on, Slam Jam! Egg and beef mayo. Yo, yo! Rodolfera Oficial. I'm waiting for my class to start. In the meantime, ZBrush Dojo is the best place to chill and learn. getting the ZBrush juices stirring. Our sculpts, you look shredded, dude. I'm so shredded. I'm like at 1% body fat right now, obviously. D-Zinc, shredded spice. Ryan Frazier, always looking sexy, bro. Thank you very much. Derek Davila, we're gonna get to you. Where's the link to the dojo? I want to learn some ZBrush Kung Fu. It's right here, brother. Grab yourself a seat at the dojo. Right there. The Unreal Stack, my boy, Spicer. Shay RX, hey Spicer, how's it going? It's going well, brother. Nice to see you back. IR Sculpts, 2.5%. The Unreal Stack, yes, sir. Carbon 444444 peeking in, saying what's up? What's going on? Shay RX, I've noticed that you seem to only use the default brushes in ZBrush, or at least I think you do. Is there a reason for that? Yeah, because they accomplish pretty much everything that I need, so I just stay with those. Especially when it comes to anatomy, you don't need special brushes for that. Ashraf Bolson, what's going on, senpai? IR Sculpts, I started using a skeleton to check my work. So helpful, I blame you, Spicer. Thank you very much, IR. Slam Jam, rest in peace. I'll change. Make sure you do, brother. Make sure you do. Shit. Harry Mandibles making his way into the dojo. Rudy Rodriguez tripping, but he ain't slipping. Rodolph Farrell Official, thank you, Sensei. My pleasure, my pleasure. Charlie Bata. CB's in the dojo, you damn right. Santiago Velasco Diaz, Sparser God. Brimstone Beard, possibly the most kind person that will ever shoot you in the face in modern warfare. Welcome to the dojo. I did check your stream out, Brimstone, and I have to recommend it to everybody else. It's a pretty good place to chill. So make sure to go check out Brimstone. Make sure to check out his stream. Super cool dude. Lots of facial hair. He's got stacks of rhymes. Yeah, just super cool, super chill, and super positive. So check him out. John Carter. Hey, nice to see you crushing it. It's John. Hit me up sometime. We need to hang out. What's going on, John Carter? Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Thank you very much. Harry Mandibles. What up, Brimstone? IR Sculpts followed. Sean Darling, is that the Pixologic Discord or yours? I'm new here. That is my Discord, the Dojo Discord. That's if you want to have your work critiqued, or you want to, like on Monday nights, like what I did for this one, just critiqued it. I'm about to go through 3 more. And if you want to have your work critiqued, you can submit that into the critique submissions. We also have sculpt offs every Monday at 8:30. We had a really, really great one this last night. Lots of people accomplished a whole lot. This was the concept that we used, and you have 3 hours to sculpt, paint, render, all that stuff. So it was pretty damn hectic. I think the most that people got was like 2 characters. Oh no, 3 from Ryan. Ryan put in a whole lot of work. But yeah, so join the Discord, and welcome Juan, Egg, Visual, Maximum, Prince Vegeta, Jonold, Lalalas, Pelas, Bibi, and Athletic. Thank you very much for joining. I do appreciate you. Mucho. Let's see. And boom. Okay. Sean Darling, okay, I already got it. Pixologic ZBrush. Hello, you say to chat about free download ZBrush Core Mini. Yeah, you can go and you can download that for free. You can use it for free. You can upgrade it any time. And they are making updates to that and giving it lots of support as well. So it's definitely a good way to dive into ZBrush. So welcome. Look at these dojo warriors. Harry Mandibles, what's your Twitch? Brimstone, IR Sculpt, cheers. I am Prince Vegeta on disc. Rodofera Oficial. Sean Darling, that sounds awesome. Where can I find the Discord link? Oh, shit. Let me give it again. I'm just going to keep linking and pasting. 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 And make sure to go check out IR Sculpts. He's a streamer here for Pixologic as well as his own. Doesn't stream every day, but he does stream a lot. So go check him out. Scorpion Core Universe, you rock. No, you do. Sean Darling, sweet. IR Sculpts, thanks, brother. My pleasure. Hey, Spicer Sensei, greetings, and how are you? I'm doing great, Sergio. Thanks for coming back. All right, this one is John Carbon of Mars. This is Thuznelda is what it's called. So, as usual, we're gonna turn off all color information, and we're gonna. So, what do you want help on, Carbon? Just I assume just anatomy. Why is there? There we go. From Barbarians. Alrighty. Well, let's just go over general stuff. Get a little bit more here. BFS. A little bit more here. You see how your neck is concave? Make sure it's a cylinder. Okay. And right here, bottom of the nose is the end of the skull. A little bit further back. This chin is kind of out here on its own. I would bring this over. And if she's a villain, you can keep this masculine chin, but I mean, it's up to you. Way more depth here in the eyes. A little bit more of the tarsal plate here. Really separate it from everything else. See how much better that looks? Right. Okay. Nose is looking good. Lips are looking okay. They're kind of missing the 3 pads here. Let's see. Body's looking good. You do have a swirly arm here. Would bring that forward a little bit more. Everything else is looking fine. The traps are a little bit too substantial in the beginning, right? So something around here, and then a little bit more indication of the esophagus here. Right there. Let's see. Everything else is good. You just concerning your sculpting technique, you want to be a little bit more aggressive here and there. Everything's pretty much the same depth. Like when I look at everything, it's all the same depth, which is giving us a little bit of a boring result. So I would be a little bit more aggressive in the right areas, like around here, where there should be a little bit more depth. Maybe bring this over and really get that pull over of the skin when it's coming from the back and then coming forward. Just a little bit more aggressive without losing its femininity. and I think it will help. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty good character. It's just the body's kind of you just need a few deep pockets here and there, you know, to just kind of, not to make her a bodybuilder, but just kind of sell the athleticism a little bit more, because she's got the size, but it's not carried through on the character. A little bit lower on that one. So yeah, and then around the knee, a little bit more, not so wide. Right, and then a little indication of the anterior tibialis, just kind of balance out this knee work that we just did. Sacrum's looking good, lower back's looking good. But yeah, it's just it feels like you're being hesitant while sculpting this thing, like you don't want to mess it up. And I understand, but your hesitance and your you just need to express yourself through this medium, right? Like your characters need more you in it, and just not having everything the same depth around here, and let's see, boom, boom, boom. Sorry, I'm thinking and sculpting and trying to be profound at the same time, so I'm gonna have some jumbled up sentences, but yeah, just a little bit more information, a little bit more depth, I think would help. I mean, all this is set up in the right place. I think this is like a scan or something, or some pre-made mesh of some sort, and you don't want to kind of like mess it up, which is fine. And that's the reason I kind of usually start off with something a little bit less photo scan-ish, because anything you do to it is going to make it look more fake, right? But if you make something or just completely change it, then you're not really stuck to that anymore. And just making sure her, usually the shoulders are going to be, you know, right above or below the ears. Yours is a little bit too far back, so just bringing it forward. But yeah, other than that, you know, whenever the character's all put together and everything, it's got the clothes, it looks nice. But just some things here and there. Okay. Way better. Alrighty. So, this one, torso study. Who sent me this one? Welcome, ultra special nomad Tanzo, and a name I cannot read because I don't understand that language. Derek. Alrighty. So, Derek, you can probably guess what I'm going to say about the serratus muscles, since we just talked about it. And then what you're doing is you're doing serratus, and then you're doing serratus again. And so that's the reason it looks the way it does, right? So also your serratus muscles are going out into your lat, right? There's no distinction between the lat and the serratus. So your lat comes from your armpit and goes around, comes forward first, then goes around, and then inserts right here, right into the back of your hips. So right about there. Let's go smooth, stronger. Brush, smooth, stronger. Skip this note. Alrighty. And there we go. Okay. And so now what we need to do, instead of your serratus muscles going up into your armpit, we're going to have them go back towards the rib cage, right? Rib cage is going to be doing this, right? I think let's go back. Mirror. This function. Mirror and weld. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so we need more rib cage, less lat. So now you can see the lat, and now you can see the rib cage. It was just beep, 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 beep. Okay. Next, your rib cage needs to. Your issue is just the rib cage. If you just spend a little bit of time really understanding the rib cage, where its limitations are, and how things should interact with it, you would be way better off as a sculptor. Let's see. And here your clavicles are straight. So your clavicles should come out, and then they should curve right there, right? So the reason it comes out straight is because we have all these vessels and blood and organs and all this stuff. So if it was a straight bar back, anytime that we would do anything like this, it would cut off our circulation, and then we would faint. So we want to make sure that the curve is in the right place. So it should be something like that. And then we should have always 100% have the achromium process described here. Okay. And now you've got that nice little flat plane. And right here, we just need to bring this down, because your clavicle should, at least whenever your character is in a relaxed position, should fairly be horizontal. Okay. Next, your sternocleidomastoid is going to the heads of your clavicle, and they should be going to the head of your sternum, right? So we need a head of a sternum here, and these need to go to it. Okay, and so we're gonna get esophagus going, Adam's apple, thyroid, cricoid, cartilage right there. Bring this around, have this go down here. So you're gonna have this little jaunt. You're gonna have your main piece right here, you're gonna have a fossa here, and right below it is your clavicle, the heads of your clavicle. Okay, and then in between those is your sternum. Okay, so after that, you can see how your chest is doing that. And we saw on the last one, or the first one that we critiqued, that the sternum is pretty flat, right? It's not going to have this bow in it. So we need to make sure that is flat. And then also we're going to lose a little bit of mass here as it goes around. So let me bring that over there. And then your traps here, you're going to need a little bit more of a fossa here. And you definitely want your neck coming through here. You really want to keep a cylinder going all the way around, and then your traps will come from here. And these are just a little bit too far forward right here. Right there. Okay, but you're going to have this come forward. You're going to have your traps attach all along here, all along your achromium process, and then also along your scapula, which back here you just have shapes, right? You kind of got a trap that you saw on the internet, kind of got your traps kind of ending, but you don't know where they're ending. You've got this shape for a clavicle that should be doing this shape, right? And so this is where anatomy is very, very important, because you're not going to need to interpret light and shadow anymore, because you're going to know where all of this is supposed to go where it's supposed to originate. It will take time, but you know, there are resources out there for you to use and buy and be a part of. And I would definitely suggest that, because you don't want to spend the next year or two just kind of trying to figure out light and shadow. You really want to know what you're sculpting. And especially if you're going to choose this for a career, you really shouldn't waste any time whatsoever understanding what's going on with anatomy, right? You should know like the back of your hand, so that whenever a client's like, hey, we need you to do this type of guy, you know, bam, 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 I'm sculpting this, you know, real quick, because you've done the puzzle so many times, right? You've done and sculpted and studied anatomy that it's going to be the same every single time. There's no reason to have any guesswork anymore, right? So right here, and you always want at the end of this of the scapula here, at the end of the blade of the scapula, you always want to have this coming off, and you want to make sure this is all following the rib cage, and it's becoming the serratus right here, right? So it should be right there, right there, roughly, right? And then the lat's going to cover that. Come around, and then your lat's going to cover this as well. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. You're going to have your spinal erectus muscles here, and then you're going to have your lumbars, which are going to originate up here towards your neck. So sometimes you'll have neck pain, but it's not anything to do with your neck. It's, you know, to do with your lumbars, because they're attached from the base of your skull or the base of your neck in your cervical spine. Very thin, but as it gets further down and further down, it starts clumping up more and more. And so you have more and more muscle down here coming around, right? And these are the lumbars that we often see. But by the time it gets, you know, up here past the, I would say the 9th or 10th, you're not really going to see it that much. It's going to become the traps. But that's where these lumbars are going to come in, right here. Okay? And then you'll have your spinal erectus muscles right here, right there. Your obliques, you know, you're going to have this follow the 8th rib, and then this is going to come out, and then it needs to go back, right? So that's kind of what you're missing on yours. Okay. And then also making sure it comes from the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So we'll call this 12, 11, 10, 9 right here. And then we're going to put that all together as one piece right here, and then have the lat go over.
Ricky!
Janet.
Where are you going, Ricky?
Janet. I need to participate in a very deadly fight. It's called a kumite.
What's a kumite, Ricky?
It's basically where you go and you fight to the death, babe.
Are you doing it for me, Ricky?
I'm doing it for you, Ricky. I mean, I'm doing it for you, Janet.
Okay, that was kind of weird how you said your name there, but then me.
But I gotta go. I'm gonna have some army men chasing me. But it's gonna be okay, babe.
Are you sure you're gonna be okay, right?
I can do jump splits in the air, babe. Pretty sure I can outrun some local officials.
Okay, Ricky. Do you know who you're gonna fight?
I'm gonna fight people all over the world, babe. And I'm gonna do it for our love. I'm gonna do it for you.
Oh, Ricky!
I know, babe. I'm perfect. I know, babe.
You are, Ricky. You're the most perfect man ever. Give me kisses.
I love you.
I love you Ricky.
Do we have any bricks in the house? I need to practice something.
What do you need to practice, Ricky?
It's a death stroke palm technique. Next time on the Ballad of Janet and Ricky.
Ricky.
Janet. All right, so now what we have is we've got this this posterior delt right here, and it needs to neutralize itself towards the corner of the scapula or the spine blade, right? So right towards the corner of the spine and blade right here. Right about there. Okay. And then you're going to have your teres major, boop, 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 right? Going up into your armpit, and this is all going to be flat, okay? Abs are looking okay for stylized. They're just very symmetrical. Rarely are abs going to be that symmetrical. These might go this way, but you want to be very careful of having abs with a curve like that, because generally they're straight or they swoop down. They don't swoop up, right? Unless they're breathing in a whole lot. And you definitely don't want to sculpt a character that's in a neutral pose to look like they're taking a deep breath in just one part of their body, right? You want to carry that through the entire anatomy. So yeah, so that's what I got for yours, brother Broham. Hope it helped, and thanks for let me critique it. Okay. How do you make muscles really show? You highlight the bony landmark. So let's say let's see, I'm trying to think of a good spot where I can yeah, so let's talk about the traps. Okay, so if I want to make this guy bulky, what I want to do is, you know, have the bony landmark here, but you see how I have everything feeding into it, right? So if we want this guy to be buff, what we're going to do is we're going to have this roll into the bony landmark, right? It's not going to go over because he's muscular, right? What it's going to do is it's going to be so puffy that it's going to go back into the bony landmark, okay? So that's kind of like the secret of making things look muscular. You generally don't need to add size. You generally just need to add a little bit of something right before that. It's just so big, boom, it has to pop down. That's what she said. Okay. And then make sure that your pectoralis goes over your bicep. It's never going to end right here. It's going to end on your right underneath your deltoid. So make sure that you start doing that as well, or I'll find you. Find you! I will find him! You think he's safe, Laura? He's not safe. I will find him. I will find him, Laura. I will find him. I see what you're saying. Thanks. I'll look into those subtleties. Sounds good, Carbon. Santiago Valesco Diaz. Spicer, where can I send you my sculpture in order to have your feedback? You can do it in the dojo under critique submissions. Harry Manuel's amazing how many times I see that before it finally just clicked. Oh yeah. Cry5 or KRY5. Hi, I'm a total noob at ZBrush. Can you suggest a tutorial? I really want to sculpt superheroes. Okay. So, what you want to do is you want to understand anatomy, obviously. You want to take it bit by bit. You want to take it, the shoulder and then the bicep and then the tricep and really understand where it's coming from, where it's going to. Then you want to start equicheting, like drawing over, bodybuilders and stuff like that, trying to put your knowledge to the test and kind of figure out what's going on. After that, during that, I would really understand motion, not posing, but motion. So I would study motion with UFC. After every pay-per-view, they have a thing called fight something. But basically, it's the biggest punches and hits of the pay-per-view in super slow motion. I think it's called fight motion is what it's called. And you get to see the body in motion with complete and total focus and just trying to live and survive and to beat the crap out of the other person, right? So you definitely want to use that for reference. And then after that, it's just practice. If you're brand new, unless you're blessed by God, you're looking at a 1 to 2 year commitment before you can really start understanding what you're actually doing. Tom Jadis, sir. Wow. You are damn right. Cry 5, I'm blown away just watching. Makina Baga! Where have you been, sister? Where have you been? Where have you been, Makina Baga? Do it for the sculpt, babe. About time Rick does something cool for Janet. She deserves it for sticking with him through the K-12 and losing that bass tournament. Damn right. Vamshi Vams, Janet, you left in previous stream. Jimmy is missing. How do you make muscles really show? Did you answer that? Much appreciated, Spicer. Thanks for your knowledge. It helps. My pleasure. If anyone wants to take my course, I do have a mentorship that you can get. You can use Mega Spicy 45 to get 45% off. It's a 6-week program, 1-on-1, so it's not a classroom or anything. It's just you and me. We sit once a week for an hour. We go over what you've done the week before. We set up with an initial interview, so just meeting each other, going over your portfolio, listening to where you are, where you want to go, and then making my observations of where you are and where we can take you in the next 6 weeks. The Mega Spicy 45 does apply to the on-demand as well, and to the payment plan as well. There's a 3-month or three payments, three installments. Blah, blah, blah. Next is my art station here. You can go to my profile. Or let me give you the link to this XMD. Right here, boom. XMD, Mega Spicy 45, 45 for 45% off, right? And then if you want something a little bit more affordable, you can go to my art station here. This is it's on sale right now. They have a sale going on. I would get the spicy bundle because everything I add to my art station store automatically gets put into the spicy bundle. So definitely get this if you're looking to just grab everything at a discounted price, because even if you buy all these singularly, it's still cheaper to get this. I did that on purpose. So yeah. And then finally, if you want to keep the dojo doors open, grab yourself a sexy ZBHO Dojo Ferrari red shirt. I literally make $1 off of these. It's not about me making money. It's about you having a badass shirt and representing the dojo everywhere you go. All right. So this last one, or it's not the last one. Ultra special. Let's see. Spicy CTL. Yep. Okay. Download anyway. So, alrighty. get that back. Okay, so we got that. Alrighty, let's see what. Who was the first one? Eric. Living Vertex. That's who it is. Alrighty. So you made some changes to the face. It's looking a little bit better. Still have weird things going on in the throat, but that's fine. You wanted me to look over the legs and arms. Okay. So it's a little jumbled around here. So let's fix this a little bit. First, your pectoralis needs to go over your bicep. And so you need to have a whole lot less here. So that's not so puffy that it needs to dive off extremely quickly to go over. Right? And then your deltoid needs to end halfway down your humerus. So it needs to go a little bit further down here. And then come around. Right there. Have this right here, your anterior head. So you're going to have 3 heads for the deltoid. You're going to have the anterior, then you're going to have the lateral, or the one that comes off of the acromion process, which is the reason that we are very, very knowledgeable and deliberate about where we are putting that acromion process. Okay, so make sure you understand, because it connects the deltoid, the trapezoid, yeah, and so it's a very, very important part. Your scapula looks like it's going this way. It should have a slight dip down, a slight oblique angle, and then go this way, and then go back up. Okay, so yours are just a little bit too short. And then we're going to have the rear delt, which is going to end here, but it's going to have an aponeurosis that attaches to the corner of the spine of the scapula. Are you paying attention? I feel like I'm alone out here. The Marco Keogh. Hello again. Always a pleasure to learn from you. I send you all the good vibes in the world. Thank you very much. Alrighty. Y'all better be learning something. Y'all better be sharing this stream. I mean, where else do you get this? Tell me, what stream? Where do you go? To get this for free? Tell me, what stream? Who comes here every week, every Tuesday, and teaches you anatomy? Tell me, what stream? What other stream? None. All right, so I want to see some shares. I want to see some likes. Okay, I want to see some likes. I want to see some comments. I want to see some damn interaction. Okay? Giving you all millions of dollars of information right now. You can give it a like. Go to YouTube. It's the least you can do. And like the stream. Like it. Okay. So we got the deltoid that's set up, and now what we need to do is your bicep and your brachialis are kind of all in one, right? So we need to separate these out a bit more and make it a little bit longer, okay? Right there. Okay, because it's gonna go here and then it's going to dive down, so maybe even a little bit more. So pop like that, right? Next, your tricep. It's gonna be right here. Later, Harry. Have a good one. And so you're going to have your short head, right? Reason it's called your short head is because it's shorter than your long head, which is right here. Okay, this is the second of the 3 heads of the tricep. Okay, so you should have a very asymmetrical feeling to your tricep heads. The main ones that we generally see. Okay, and then off of this, you're just going to come straight here, and you're going to go down to the epicondyle of the humerus right here. So you're going to have this little tube right here. I think I have smooth stronger on. Yeah, BS. It's a little bit less. There we go. Okay. And so if this is going to be there, then our elbow is going to be right about here. If you want to know how to sculpt an elbow, sculpt mark in a pyramid. Okay, that's pretty much what an elbow is in its basic shape. Okay, and then you're going to connect the aponeurosis of the triceps here. So it's going to attach all along there, all along there, all along here. Okay. Finally, you have your short head here, and then you're going to have your lazy 9 that goes around your olecranon or your elbow. Okay. And I'm just going to pull this out.
Oh, yeah. Like these puppies, see?
And we're going to have that right there, right there. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so the next muscle that we got to have, it's going to be right off of the deltoid right here, is the brachialis. Okay, so actually I have a video that I saved, so you can kind of see the arm in action, and then hopefully we can talk about it. Let's see. Okay, arms. I saved one today. Yeah, there we go. Oh, dang. Nope. Okay. I'm trying to make this larger, but it's not. It's not working with me. But you can see, so this is a brachialis. Comes right off of the edge of the deltoid, right? Right. So, let me see if I can see if we can get in here. There we go. Okay. Let's get the magic or epic pen. Okay. So, let's get our pen. Okay. So, we have the deltoid right here. We've got the acromion process right here. We've got the lateral head right here. We've got the rear delt right there. We've got the anterior head right here. Okay. We've got the bicep right here. And then we've got the brachialis coming over and diving into the pit of our bicep. Okay. Then we're going to have our tricep right here. This is our short head right here. And then we're going to have the brachialis, radial brachialis, come over right here. Okay. So that's kind of what we got going on with this. Right. All right. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to confuse. So here we've got the acromion process, spine of scapula, blade of scapula. We've got the teres major, infraspinatus right here. The rear delt, the tendon, the aponeurosis I was talking about. This is a rear delt. That's a lateral delt right here, and that's a front delt peeking out. We've got the tricep right here. We've got the short head right there. We've got the elbow down here with the aponeurosis, and the long head right here. And we don't want to confuse this brachialis right here with the brachial radialis right there. Okay. And it's actually inserting right here because she's got it supinated. Okay. So you want to be very careful about that. I'm just trying to find. There we go. Okay. So one more time, just so that we can all make sure that we know what we're doing. Okay. So rear delt right here, coming around. Lateral delt right here. Anterior delt right there. Bicep going this way. Brachialis going into the pit of our bicep. Brachioradialis, our first head, our second head, going there. We've got our short head of our tricep, the lazy 9, and you can see in between the brachialis and the tricep, that's where the brachioradialis comes out of. Okay, so if we're gonna use this with here, okay, oops. So we're going to have the anterior head, the lateral head, the back head, the short head. We're gonna have the brachialis come this way. We're gonna have our bicep this way, and then in between the tricep and the brachialis is the brachioradialis right there. Okay, so that's kind of what we need to sculpt into here. So it needs to come from there, from here, kind of coming down that way, kind of coming down this way, all that good stuff. Brachioradialis coming over. Let's see where your hand is. It's going to attach right there, so that all you gotta do is just draw a line back and forth, and that's going to be where your brachialis needs to go into. Unless you're fit like that that athlete we just saw, and you're flexing and lifting weights and your arm is in heavy use, you're not usually going to see the bisection of the brachioradialis. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that you shouldn't be sculpting down every single character that you do. Okay, just some very, very few, and that way you have a mastery of all these different styles and everything like that. Okay, so your brachioradialis that's going to come over here, right underneath it is going to be the head of your humerus, right? So now what we need to do is we need to bring out all these extensors, right? So your extensors, you have them set up pretty well, actually. It's just everything around it was kind of slightly off. Okay, but and this is going towards your palm. It needs to be going to the head of your styloid process of your ulna right here. Okay, so make sure that that goes there. Okay, then you're going to have the the medial head of the humerus right here, and all of your flexors. So everything that has to deal with closing your hand is going to go down, is going to originate from here, and it's generally going to be resembled in one form. Very rarely are you going to have digitation there. Okay, so yeah, so that's the arm. Okay, Desmond, why hello, when sculpt human face or body do you usually turn on perspective? No, I never have perspective on when I'm sculpting. I only leave that for rendering. I wasn't into live streaming until I caught you teaching a few months ago. Thanks so much. You have helped me a lot. Thank you very much, Mark. That is a wonderful, wonderful comment. Thank you. Living Vertex, always sculpt in perspective. Mark Willis, yeah, I plan to live stream when I get a bit more comfortable with being able to answer questions. Nice. Living Vertex, damn, that's really good ref. Oh, hell yeah. You got to be on top of that Instagram. Comics Legend! Hi, Spicer, good to see you. Would you ever like to work at a big company or work independently on your own work? Always work independently. Right now, I'm working on a clock, a likeness, taking a maquette and making it 9 foot, taking a artistic sculpture and cleaning up a scan, teaching, and then also doing my own NFT stuff with Harry Mandibles, verbal processing, and Batman Pop Art. I would much rather do that than every day I gotta go to Blizzard and make a fucking elf. Go over here. Let me hand paint the same thing I've been doing for 10 years. Right? That's me. Some people love that stuff. Some people absolutely love having that type of job, and more power to them. But for me, I can't. Alrighty, so let's go over these legs. Derek Davila, I'm finding doing drawovers helpful with learning anatomy. Oh yeah. The Green Ghost, good evening. Do you have any advice on sculpting adding form to lips? Yeah, let me sculpt you lips within 2 minutes. All right, so we're going to dynamesh this. We are going to activate symmetry. So lips in 2 minutes. Lips in 2 minutes, okay? Lips are not an additive process. They are a subtractive process, okay? So what I'm going to do is get my Damien standard, and first thing we're going to do is get the Cupid's bow. And we're going to press 1, 1, 1, 1, okay? Then we're going to mark in the vermilion border right here, right there. Then we're going to get the lower lip, and we're going to do that, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the information now that we've marked all this stuff in. So now we're going to have our philtrum lip right here. Let me dynamesh this again. We're going to have our philtrum pad right here. Then we're going to have the 2 pads on each side. Right there. We're going to have the node of the mouth that allows us to articulate the sound of our mouth. Okay. Everything's being attached right there. And then we're going to bring this out, right? So we gotta get that, bum, 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 bum. And so as we had 3 up here for the lips, we only have 2 down here, all right? So we only have 2 pads. It's just one side and then the other. Now the problem with this is that we've got this huge over-exaggerated bit right there. And now the issue is that the bottom lip is sticking out further than the bottom lip. So if you're gonna do that, it's gonna be looking like this, you know, and maybe that's something that you want, but maybe it's not. Maybe you want something a little bit more sophisticated, something that don't have an underbite. All right. So you can kind of even it out there, and then you just add the philtrum right here. Bob's your uncle. You owe me $3 million. Okay. So that's what you gotta do to get your lips in order. All right. So here, your legs. Let's just work on this leg. So first things first is we're going to start from the anterior superior iliac spine, which is going to be right here. Okay. This is right there. You need to have your tensor fascia latae right here. It's going to be much more substantial on people that are, fit. Less substantial, the more normal it is. Generally, it's going to provide you with this curve that you already have here. But your problem is that your vastus lateralis is way too thin. It needs to be much more substantial in its mass here. All right, so boom, 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 boom. Right there. This muscle ends here, and then the tendon attaches and goes to the head of the tibia. Your issue is that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knees. Okay. What you need is just one. So this leg is gonna have to be shortened up as well. So here is just the knee, right? You're just gonna have the knee right here. You're just gonna make a policeman shield. Give a straight line and then dig on each side of it. Okay. Make sure that this is not straight up and down. Make sure it's got an angle and it's going back. Okay. This is your patella ligament down here. Okay. And so whenever you get your patella set up right at the corner, you're going to bring down the vastus medialis, which is this teardrop muscle here. Okay. And it's always going to touch the very corner of the patella right here. Okay. So that's kind of like your one of your attachment points right there. Okay. So right there, And you're just going to dig in on that side. Right here is where you kind of want to fill it in with the anterior tibialis. Oh, and I forgot to thank someone joined the stream. Matthew Ilario and Ilario TM. I'm suspecting y'all are both the same person. Thank you very much for following me on Twitch and subscribing to YouTube. Pure Max Games, thanks for subscribing. Gamma Rat and Quizzy Quinn, thank you again for joining the dojo. Okay. Alrighty. So that's kind of what I would do with that. And you can see it's already looking a whole lot better. Next thing is that you have an extra muscle here that should be a bony landmark. So we have the head of the tibia right here, you know, right here, the head of the femur right there. Okay, we've got the tendons all attaching to the head of the tibia right here, concerning the sartorius right here. Boom, schmack daddy, bop bop bop, I do it again. So you're gonna have that, then you're gonna have your adductors also coming in here, so that's gonna be cut off right about there, right underneath the booty right here, and this is gonna go down. That's gonna connect, and then also your the medial side of your hamstring. So this is I'm gonna just approximate this. That's your hamstring. It's going to split, boom, go on this side again, attached to the head of your tibia. So on the inside of your knee, you should have it a little bit more round, and on this side it should be quite thin. Are you listening? Y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Do you mind if I ask, where did you start your ZBrush journey or career? Oh yeah, you like that wallpaper? You like that wallpaper? It's pretty good. Let's see, do you mind? Well, I was working in a bank and I hated my life and I hated my job. Just so much, just so much. And then someone came in, opened an account. He said he was into doing graphics. I said I was into playing the guitar. He wanted to trade, you know, like Photoshop lessons for guitar lessons. And then someone came in with Maya, started there, hated it, and then he gave me ZBrush, and then that was it. That was it. After that, I finally had a purpose for my life, and ZBrush saved my life. I've said that plenty of times to them directly. But if it wasn't for ZBrush, I have no idea what I would be doing with my life at all. At all. So yeah. So I went from a disaster to somewhat competent. Within, I mean, it took me longer because I didn't know what I was supposed to study. I just thought you're just supposed to sculpt and sculpt and sculpt and sculpt, and you get better by looking at stuff. That's not the way it works. Le Fantomas, thank you very much. Learn your, if you're going to be a character artist, you need to know your anatomy. If you're going to be a creature artist, you need to know horse, dog, cat, bird anatomy. So you can mix those at any time, because that's basically the foundation of all the other animals, right? You know, you can add in reptiles and stuff. I'm talking about, you know, animals, not reptiles. Don't make a semantic argument with me. All right, but you have to know it. You can't. You just can't go off of light and shadow and walk in and think that you know what you're talking about, or that you could create something really, really quickly. Because sometimes you're just not going to have the reference that you need to complete the sculpture, and you're going to have to know it and make it. So, yeah. I'm finding... got curious about that one, too. Papa Hit. Deezing, favorite cow, the only Pop-Tart not worth eating. Reynold Joseph, thanks for the lessons. It's good to have somebody that teaches from the scratch rather than blah, 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 blah. Thanks, Reynold. The Green Ghost, thank you. Ryan Fraser, bam, lips. Moon what's going on? Living Vertex, yes, sculpting the fixes on stream. Slam Jam, nice wallpaper, thank you very much. Carbon 444, thank you very much. Bra 0316, thank you very much. JA21, thank you very much. Reynolds Joseph, wake up! Comics Legend, Am, thank you very much. Yimmy Lid, amazing, thank you very much. Papa Het, damn near had a heart attack, damn right. Sean Darling, not gonna lie, you caught me off guard. Bai Jing Zhao Swan Tao. 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 Right? Daniel Medieros, thank you very much. Slam Jam 69 watching lol. Sean Darling, that's really cool. At what age did this happen? You're talking me and my and the emotional scars that I've had. Derek DeVilla, ZBrush rules. Sean Darling, that's an endearing story for me. I just quit my dead-end job for more time to focus on this. Nothing motivates a young man more than living on the streets. So, good job quitting your job. I love water. Okay. So, now what we need to do is we need to work on the rectus femoris. Okay, yours is just being a little too flashy. All right, it's got a little bit too much gumption for what it is. Okay, so you have your anterior superior iliac spine up here where your hip bone is. And then you have the anterior inferior iliac spine, and that's where your rectus femoris is coming from. And on each side of the groin, unless they're overweight, there's really nothing going on each side of the groin. So you want to be very careful about having your sartorius build up a whole lot of form when his body style isn't really cut out for that. All right, so down here, we've got the head of our tibia, and you need to send all this back, brother. You need to send it all back, and you have 2 ankles. Why do you have 2 ankles? You know you only have 1 ankle. Right there. Okay, you know that. Come on, you know that. Okay, and then you need to make sure, this is a bony landmark, so this is all bone. So we don't want to just suddenly let the ankle just die off, right? It's going to be part of this. So your tibia ends in your malleolus right here, okay? Sculpturally. You're going to have your Achilles tendon right here. Next, probably not so substantial right behind the leg. Your semitendinosus membranosus is right here. This is 2 different muscles that we generally represent with one form. And then you have the biceps femoris right here. So this is going to be a little bit more substantial right here. Boom, 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 right there. And it's going to have a tendon that is also pretty substantial right here. And it's going to end at the head of the fibula right here. Okay. And then off of the fibula, listen up! Off of the fibula is the fibularis longus. So that's going to go right here. It's going to create that line that's on the side. And it's going to go around the ankle right here. So right here, we want to be a little bit more substantial about the ankle. Okay. Your ankle should be, like the widest part of your lower calf ankle thing, right? Right here, a little bit more curve, a little bit more angle right here on the inside gastrocnemius, and then having it a little bit more round on the outside to just have contrast, right? So boom, boom, and then whoop. Okay. So, your gastrocnemius is originating. Let's even this out right here. Right there. Okay, so you have the epicondyles of your humerus right here, or femur right here. It's coming this way, coming this way. They're going to converge right here. This is where the tallest part of your calf will be. And then you have the long head, and then you have the short head. Okay. These are going to go around, come back right here. We'll worry about that muscle in just a second. This one, again, is not going to go in front of your fibularis longus. Okay. It's going to stay behind that. And it's going to go back around. And now what we're going to do is off of this curve up here, boom, 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 we are going to have the soleus. Again, from up here, doom, 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 doom. And it's going to create this little like implant underneath the gastrocnemius or our calf. Right, and it's boom all along there. Okay. And so what that's going to do is going to give you your calf muscle, and then give you your sartorius as well right here. Okay, and so you should have boom, boom right there. Okay, so now you only have one knee instead of 5, which is a good place to start. Okay. Alrighty. Brow0316, appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thanks everybody who is listening, who's not slacking, who's not lurking, linger. Imagine having 5 knees, right? So yeah. So hopefully that helps you out, brother. Hopefully that helps you. All right, so we got some more. That was Living Vertex. We had another one. It was Slam Jam. Let's see. All right, Slam Jam. Alrighty, let's take a look. Alrighty, so lots of the same issues we've been talking about. Your clavicle is really not a bone, it's more of like a line on yours. So let's start with the face, because we haven't talked about the face today on any of these sculpts. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to set up our orbit. Okay, so your orbit is where your eye is obviously housed in, and it's roughly going to be a square, right? So you're going to have a square here, and then you're just going to make this side higher and then this side lower. All right, so something like that. Always want to start off with an orbit. Okay, now what we can do is we can, you know, sculpt in some eyes right here, get that, but we definitely need an orbit first. Okay, also the distance between your eye and your brow is very substantial. So we want to be very careful about that. So I'm going to move that forward, and then I'm going to move your nose back. Okay, so again, I'm going to move this forward, because we should have a 15-degree tilt from the inside of our eye to the outside of our eye. And it's just really, really substantial. I guess you're going for that hulky bit. So if we're going for, you know, a little bit more testosterone than normal, then we need to signify the things that make up our face concerning testosterone. Those are going to be your jawline, okay, and your jawline's okay, and then your ear is also straight up and down. We need to have it leaning, okay. So your jawline is never going to go behind your ear. It's always going to be in front of your ear. You're going to have the length of your jaw, okay, which is a part going straight up and down. And then you're going to have the angle of your jaw. And this is where most of the testosterone is going to be represented, is right here at the angle of the jaw, Okay, it's going to be a little bit more substantial. And then we're going to have the mandible right here. Everything, especially for a guy like this, all this right here is just bone. So there shouldn't be any wavering, there shouldn't be any looping or wobbliness or sudden losses of volume. Should be pretty substantial and straight. Okay. Also, even though he is very muscular, we still want to give him a neck. Okay, so your traps are way too high. You want to make sure you give him a neck first, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Straight across from your nose is the end of the skull right here. And then what we need to do is we need to put in some bony landmarks again. So here is going to be the top of the zygomatic. So if you feel the side of your face, if you just come from your ear hole and just go straight, that's the line that I'm sculpting right now. Okay, and so that's going to be here. You're going to have all of your temporalis feeding underneath this. So this needs to be the widest part of the face right here. Right here. Not all this. Just right here. This needs to be the widest part of the face. Okay. And so now what we need to do is we need to figure out where our malar eminence is going to be. So that's where your face makes a turn and then becomes the front of your face. So that's roughly going to be here. And it's always going to reach the bottom of your nose. So your nose is going to give you the bottom of your skull. It's also going to give you the bottom of your malar here. So right here, we just need to bring this down a little bit more. We need to have this as a flat plane here. So you can see this is a little bit more going back. So I'm going to bring this forward. Right there. And we're going to give a little bit more right there. We're going to have that flat part of the face right here. And then we're going to have the masseter right here. So this is everything that has to deal with chewing food, right? Emaciating food, masseter, emaciation. Okay. And next, your right underneath the center of your lip is where your chin's going to be right here. And again, if it's going to be super testosterone man, then you need to really have that bow in the chin, because the more testosterone you have, the more of a bow you have here. Okay. You're also missing your philtrum right here. That's right underneath your nose. Okay. So you need that. So you're just missing a lot of basic descriptions on your character. So what I would do is I would start focusing on certain parts of the face, certain parts of the body, and really understanding those, because you don't want to spend the next couple of years just randomly sculpting things and hoping it turns out all right. You need instruction, right? Here, got that. This, got that. You got your depressor muscles right here, right there, and you should have 3 breaks for your nose. So you should have the glabella, the nasal, and then the septal right there. Okay. And then your eyes are just kind of flipped. This part should be forward, this part should be back. And let's mark in an eye. Canthal tendon, canthal tendon. Boom, 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 boom. Tarsal plate, tarsal plate. And then we're going to have the infraorbital furrow, which is going to signify the front of your malar as well as the beginning of your orbit. So get this. We're going to connect the canthal tendon to this infraorbital furrow right here. And bring this down over here. You can fill this up if you want to with eye fat right here, so you can fill all this up if you want to. It's up to you what you want to do with that. So yeah, right here. So now we're going to have the straight part. We're going to have this go up, and then this is going to go around and come back, and this is going to be your temporalis. So this is a muscle that shouldn't have any concavity here, and then it's going to feed underneath that zygomatic and attach to your jaw. It's called the coracoid process that it attaches to. And so now, still a little bit too substantial on the brow. It's just way too far out there. And bring that forward. All right. Also, your nose is all lined up, so your nostril should be behind your septal cartilage. Right here. Bring this back. Move this back as well. That forward. There. Boom. Right here. Okay. So now we're going to have the superciliary arches right here. I'm going to get this orbit a little bit better. So right there, right here, right there. Going to have the nasolabial fold go around, fill in that area, and just kind of neutralize this expression a little bit more. And then he also needs a forehead. So right here, just give him a little forehead right there, and then make sure that this dives down into the it's a little bit too much. That the forehead dives down to the temporal arches, and right here it's this rink. And so what we need to do is make this a little bit more substantial. Right here. Right, so that's a little bit more. But with this type of facial structure, it's probably going to be a little bit more, a little less dainty and a little bit more rough. Okay. You gotta dig around the nostril. You need your septal cartilage right here. It goes back up into your nose. You need a little bit less width on your septal cartilage, and then you really want to make sure that this is a high part, and then it kind of just rolls down. Okay. So you should have that. But yeah. So that's kind of what I would do to fix that. Also, your neck is not really supporting your body style. So generally, with someone that has this much testosterone, their mastoid process right here, you can feel it for yourself right behind your ear. That little bony extrusion right here is very, very substantial on someone with this much testosterone. So it's going to feel like the neck is wider than the face. And just making sure that's a little bit too far back. So I'm going to move that forward. That's a little bit better. Okay. So so now basically now we have the face. And so now all we need to do is just make it aesthetically pleasing to ourselves, right? So now we can kind of make it whatever face we want to make it, right? So before or after, and then before. Alrighty. Okay, so let's talk about. We're just going to talk about the shoulders and up because there's a lot to fix on this. Right there. Okay, so here, let's talk about the traps. So we're going to have the end of the skull right here, right? We're going to have the traps originate from the occipital protuberance, which is the very end of your skull. It's going to attach at the base of your skull, and then it's going to come forward here. And this is where your clavicle should be. This is where your chromium process should be. And this is where your traps should be going to, right? To the chromium process, to the very last third of our clavicle. And then again, you know, your sternocleidomastoid needs to go here, not to the heads of your clavicle. And then have that little jaunt that kind of comes down with a fossa right there. A little bit more esophagus-y right here. It's just a little bit too harsh. Okay. Give him the dip in the neck, heads of the clavicle, sternum, right here. We're going to just kind of just kind of sketch this, sketch this in for the scapula, or I'm sorry, the shoulder girdle, and we need that, boom, right there. Okay. And then also make sure that your shoulders aren't behind your ear, right? They should be roughly underneath, right here. Your back is way too much here, way too much. Okay. So if we're going to, let's talk about the back a little bit. And what do we have on time? Maybe we can get one more in. All right, so scapula, spine, blade, and then it goes back up here, right? Okay. So usually what I do is I get the trim dynamic, BTD, and I get this thing really flat, super flat right here, even up into the shoulder. Just make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, having a little bit of a tilt like this is perfectly fine. Okay, so now what I want to do is now I want to bring this deltoid over, right? So boom, right here, smooth, and then have the aponeurosis kind of finish that off. Okay, boom, right there. And then you're going to have the teres major attach right here at the bottom of the scapula right here, and go into the armpit. Okay. So here your deltoid needs to be separated from your chest, right? So if we're going to have this here, that's fine. But now we need the lateral head. So boom, right here. Remember, 3 heads for the deltoid. If you just got in here, you need to go all the way back to the beginning, because all we've been doing is anatomy today. So if you've had any issue with any part of the body, I've most likely gone over it during this stream, and you better have liked the stream! All right, so deltoid right there. Okay, and notice how it's going in. Okay, notice how it's going in right there. So boom, right? So bop, right? Not bop. Okay, so something like that. And then let's fix your pectoralis. Okay, so you're gonna have 3 heads going, 2 coming from the end of the deltoid. Boom, 1, 2, and then the 3rd one. Your problem is that it's all flat, right? So what we need to do is we need to cut off this right here. So we should have the first pectoralis. Oh, that looks perfect. We're gonna have a fascia in here separating the anterior head and the clavicular head. Okay, coming around, make it a little bit more substantial right there. And then the sternal head, which goes over right there. Boom. We'll cut off his breast right here. Okay, right there. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and it's underneath the clavicular head. Right, all these layer on top of each other. So now we've got the sternal head going over, and then the thoracic head. And you just want to be careful because it's got to come all the way over here and then go there. So we don't want to have too much back here. Okay. Right there. Okay, and so now we just need to kind of just fix it all, and let's take a look at that sternum. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Something like that, and then just make sure it's going over the bicep. Okay. So yep, that's what I would do for yours. And bring this trapezoid over. So you need to have your 7th cervical vertebra. You need to have a spear of aponeurosis right here. You can pretty much call this the first muscle group going towards the corner of the spine and blade, and then coming around and going down to the last thoracic vertebra. So that's the last vertebra that has a rib attached to it. That's what last thoracic means. All right, so boom, 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 coming over. Mech and tech. Okay, and then don't forget the serratus coming off the bottom of the scapula right here, and then have your serratus muscle going up to your nipple, and then you want to separate your lat from your rib cage right here, and make sure that all this is got a sense that it's going back up, right? Like this is our rib cage right here, right? So I want to make sure that our rib cage is following that. That's, I would say this right here, this area right here is where you can always tell an amateur sculptor. Always, every single time, is this one area, because they don't watch the stream, first of all. Okay, they aren't part of the dojo, second of all. I'm looking at you. Yeah, you. I'm looking at you, the one that's not part of the dojo. The one that doesn't watch his stream every Tuesday. I'm looking at you. All right. So make sure that you separate your rib cage from your lat, or I will find you! Okay, so rib cage, and then the oblique, right? So your oblique's just coming out here. It needs to come from the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th rib. Okay, right here, right there. Okay, so 9, 10, 11, 12. So we don't want to have the oblique starting from here. This is for the lat right there, and then the obliques are going to peek out right here. Okay, and so it should look like that. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah. So what it is, what it was. Alexandra Letona, gracias, señorita, for joining the dojo. Oh, stop screaming, your baby's asleep? Well, you need to put this on, you need to put this on your headphones. Okay, you need to put this on your headphones. All right, so what we had and what we have. Okay. Let's see. Having 5 knees, always listening, always watching. Thank you, Sensei. I'm lurking. Stadius, Hidanath. Do you think it's simpler to sculpt ladies' muscles because of less definition, or are they more of a challenge on their own? They're both very challenging. Getting a male body really correct and believable and looking masculine is very hard. And same for, feminine. It's just hard. They're both equally hard. Whoever says that men are easier to sculpt than women doesn't know how to sculpt either. They're both very challenging. Let's see. Master Spicer is live. Lion's God. Whoa. Just made it. What up, Spice Man? What did I miss? I was making scale VDM asset packs for future sculpting and hopefully some good enough ones to sell. Nice. Christ Jesus. Living Vertex. Personally, lady muscles are much harder. Christ Jesus. Looks like Seth from Street Fighter, brother. Thank you very much. We're just doing critiques tonight. Derek Davila should be doing homework but still listening and watching and learning more here. Damn right. Slam Jim. I see. Alex DK, always learning a lot from you, Sensei. Thank you very much, Alex. Slam Jam, you make it look so easy, because it is! You take my class, it'll be way easier. Comics Legend, speaking of needing instruction, Spicers or sculpting scores still on a special pricing at XMD Academy. Yes, it is. Let me give you the link to that. Where am I? Where is it? Where? Did I close it? Did I close it? Did I close it? Yeah, I think I did. Yep, I did. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We will bring it back up. Ding, ding, ding. Right there. Okay. So, yeah, we have the courses. They're just going to be up for another few days before we close out registration. So you can go to xmdacademy.com. You can use Mega Spicy 45 for 45% off. The mentorship payment plan and on demand. Best Mac cap is the basic material. You can also get okay. What is it? Shut up again. Screen. What is it? Art Station. There we go. Then we have the Art Station store. These are much more affordable, smaller tutorials, still very valuable. All of them 5-star. They're on sale right now. And then final plug for the night, shotgunscream.com merch. Pick yourself up a dojo shirt. Keep the dojo doors open. Yeah. John Carbonaro, Daniel Williams, every Monday at the dojo. Oh, what's going on, Daniel? Nice to see you here. Thank you very much. I do basic matte with 1 or 0 ambient and still gets too shiny for my eyes. Your basic matte right here? Basic material? Basic material 2 is good. Where's a matte cap gray up here? Matte cap green clay is a little abusive. Matte cap green something. These are pretty good, but you're only going to get one lighting source. You're not going to get you're not going to be able to like change your light source to take a look at it. So Beetlejuice it up. Just wrapped up the mentorship with Spicer last quarter. Highly recommend. Thank you very much, Bev. I do appreciate you, sister. Thanks for hopping in the sculpt off last night, saying hi. That was very nice of you. Gordon McLeroy, do you give Gen ZBrush help with your courses? General ZBrush help? Yeah. If you don't know how to make something or something like that, we can talk about that. Or maybe you don't know a trick or something like that, we can definitely cover that during the mentorship, because the mentorship isn't really, it is structured, but it's not structured for everybody. It's structured specifically for where you are as an artist, right? So it's not going to be, be a general thing for everybody, right? It's going to be, so if you need help with ZBrush itself, or you need help with sculpting, or you need help with anatomy, or you need help finishing off your sculpts, or you need help with posing or composition or evoking emotion or creating movement, any of that stuff I can help you with in the mentorship. So I would definitely sign up for that. If you've, if you can sculpt something that looks like a human and you have no idea what these muscles are doing or where they're coming from or going, and you want to get better, then you want to take my course. Okay. Slam Jam, is it possible to screenshot different angles and BPR render them in one image? Yeah, sure can. Yeah, the sculpt off was fun, getting a new headset so it doesn't sound like I'm in outer space. Sounds good. Oh no, did I get mistaken for Point Pusher again? I'm someone else. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I know. That's Danny Williams. You're Daniel Williams. Yes. Alrighty, everybody. So we are going to give thanks and praise to the Lord Scott Eaton and the Scott Eaton Templar. Thank you very much for being here on the stream. I sure hope you did learn a lot. I know I did, watching myself. Damn, I'm entertaining, instructional, helpful, and you ain't gonna find a stream like this anywhere else on the internet. So you better make sure you show up every Tuesday right here on ZBrush Live. We've got over 125 billion, trillion, thousand, hundred people watching the stream right now, but we are all one.